Hello everyone, MTG Premodern Deck Tech. Today we have an archetype that is hated by a lot of people, but this is actually a good budget-friendly deck, Stasis. This is a build-around card that immediately caught attention even in old school. With pre-modern cards, it only gets better, and it gets better by a wide margin. One card makes all the difference: Forsaken City. Gush, Thwart, and Daze are very important because they allow you to maintain stasis for longer by just bouncing islands and playing them again. At the same time, you are protecting stasis from instant speed removals. Root Maze can be used just like old school decks can use Kismet. Root Maze denies mana. Unlike with Kismet, creatures will come into play untapped, but with stasis that's not a problem. So Root Maze is more than okay, and Forsaken City provides mana of any color, so green mana. A red splash is possible for Fire Ice and Pyroclasm. Well, I'm going to show the list for Mono Blue and Blue Green Root Maze. So let's start with a solid list for the classic Mono Blue Stasis deck. For Stasis, for Chain of Vapor, which is a quick answer to any permanent, and it can bounce your own stasis in your opponent's end of turn. On top of that, you may copy this spell by sacrificing a land when you're targeting your own stasis. 4 Impulse for Gush, 1 Flash of Insight. This is your card draw package. 1 mana short, you're going to play this card in your opponent's end step, then untap and follow with stasis. Then counter magic, 4 counterspell, 3 thwart, 3 foil, 2 daze. Your finisher, full playset of Black Vise, 1 upheaval. This card is possible as both a main deck or sideboard card. It works very well with Black Vise, Gush, thwart and foil. You will float your mana, bounce your lands, play a couple Black Vise, game over. So this is a good finisher. So even though it's not mandatory by any means, it's a good main deck card. And finally, 2 Powder Keg, which will remove 1 and 2 drops of the format, mostly creatures and artifacts. The lands, full playset of Forsaken City, 18 islands and 1 Cephalid Coliseum. This is optional, it can be another island really. Other options for the main deck are Arcane Denial, which can be used if you want more counter magic. Boomerang is Chain of Vapor number 5. Ivory Tower and Brain Freeze are more situational cards that you can always discard to foil or to Forsaken City. In the sideboard we have a lot of cards against red, 3 Blue Elemental Blast, 3 Chill, then cards against enchantments, 2 Annul, 2 Cursed Totem, which stops combo decks, 2 Hibernation, pretty obnoxious for Elves and Terrageddon decks, 2 Jealous Blessing and 1 Brain Freeze are answers to Brain Freeze and Storm decks. Brain Freeze can also catch by surprise decks that play Oath of Druids. They're going to mill themselves a lot and you can play a lot of spells in one turn, thanks to Gush, Daze, Thwart, Foil. Other options for the sideboard are Tsabos Web and Back to Basics. These 2 cards compete for a slot. Forsaken City doesn't untap anyway. Back to Basics stops paying lands at the price of costing 1 more mana than Tsabos Web and not throwing a card. Propaganda can significantly slow down aggressive decks. Tormod Script, Standard, Graveyard Hate, and more copies of Mana Short are possible in your sideboard, like second copy. So these are the cards that you expect to see in a Stasis deck. Next we have the Root Maze list. Root Maze makes Howling Mine much better. Once your opponent is locked, thanks to Root Maze plus Stasis, you don't have to care about their spells anymore, and all you need to worry about is to maintain stasis, which is incredibly easy with Forsaken City. And if you have Black Vise in play, your opponent is eventually going to lose. You don't need to do anything. Yeah, it's quite easy to understand that these two cards, Stasis and Root Maze, are very powerful when combined. So in this deck list, for Stasis, 2 Root Maze, for Black Vise, 2 Howling Mine, then for this, 2 Thwart, 2 Foil for Counterspell, for Chain of Vapor, 4 Gush, 4 Impulse, and 1 Boomerang. In the sideboard, 3 Chill, 2 Hydroblast or Rudimental Blast, 2 Curse Totem, 2 Powder Keg, 1 Sabo's Web, 3 Annul, 1 Tormod Script, and 1 Chronotog. Chronotog is the Mirror Breaker, just in case your opponent has Black Vise in play. So that's all. Let me know what you think about this archetype and these two deck lists. Thanks for watching and see you the next time.